And now, Working Man Radio with your host, Joe Lyles.
Got a little project for you. Real simple little project. You can do this when I'm done talking. You can do it right now if you can hear me. Pause it. We're not live yet. Hope to be live before too much longer, but you can pause it. Go find your phone bill. Look at your phone bill. Look at your phone bill, and what you will see in your phone bill, pull it out, have your calls itemized. You can look at your phone number, and then you can see the phone number you called. It doesn't say who you called. It just has the phone number you called. Every call you make, itemize how long you talked, what time, the date and time of the call, and what time you talked. And they can figure there's other information they can find out that's not in your phone bill. They contain other information like which cell tower. If you're landline, well, they know where you are. You're at your house. If you're on your cell phone, they have information about what cell tower was repeating the message. They might even, I don't know if they can do this or not. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, every cell phone has got GPS on it anymore. I mean, my phone's got it. Probably get that GPS data on where you're at and send it to, and make it part of what they call the metadata. Well, if suppose the government has some reason to want to figure out who you've been talking to. Suppose the government has some reason to think that you've been planning bank robberies on your cell phone. Suppose the government thinks that you have been, horror of horrors, arranging marijuana drug deals on your telephone. Do they have the capability, getting appropriate warrants and observing the appropriate legal niceties? Do they have the capability of going to the phone company and saying, give us the records of this dude's telephone calls? What's the telephone company going to do? They're going to do what they're ordered to do. They might say, listen, you got to get a court order. We're not coughing up our records without a court order. But if you get a court order, you'll get the records. The government's not the only one who can do this. If you're in a lawsuit with somebody and it becomes relevant to find out who they're talking to on the phone, and it becomes relevant to find out who they're emailing, and you have information that an email might contain some admissible evidence, you can subpoena. You can subpoena those records in a civil suit. You can subpoena phone records in a civil suit. If you're in a lawsuit with somebody, they can demand that you furnish these records. And a request for production of documents, interrogatories, take your deposition. They can subpoena your phone bill from you. There's all kind of information that's kept on you when you use services like cell phones. Don't like it? Don't use your cell phone. Don't have a cell phone. I was in my 40s before I had a cell phone. I didn't want a cell phone. I wanted to be able to go places and be unavailable. I did not want people who thinking they can just call me any time of the day or night wherever I was and whatever I was doing. Life progressed, business progressed, I got to where I needed to be in touch with people, so I got a cell phone. Well, if you don't like those rules, you don't have to have a cell phone. Well, I like the convenience of a cell phone. Well, no kidding. No kidding. That's right. That's how they say. That's why people are all, we need safeguards. That's why the phone company will not lightly cough up records about your business. But when it gets down to it, they will do it. And let me tell you why. The people of the city of Boston demanded that the government track those people down. The FBI descended on Boston like locusts looking for this joker. This joker. They descended like locusts on Boston to find these guys. And the people of Boston wanted them to do it. And when they captured those guys, when they captured the last one, Joe Carr, when they arrested him and took him into custody, there was a street party in Boston. People were congratulating the government on tracking down these sons of bitches. Let me show you something else. You remember the 9/11 attacks? How the 9/11 attacks happened? George W. Bush got a memorandum on August the 6th, 2001, saying, terrorists, Al-Qaeda determined to strike inside the United States. They said he was determined to use airplanes. And George W. Bush ignored the memo. Do you know that? You know that, don't you? What do you think about George W. Bush ignoring that memo? It's well documented. When the Bush administration came into office in January 2001, they were briefed. They were briefed about the threats, about foreign terrorist threats, and they ignored them. That wasn't their priority. They had other priorities. It was like, we're not doing anything like that those Clinton people are telling us to do. We're doing it our way. Right? What happens if Barack Obama lets one through? What happens if we have a 9/11 attack? What happens if we have a serious terrorist attack on Barack Obama's watch? What happens if Al-Qaeda launches another successful attack on Barack Obama's watch? What's going to happen to him? How do you get reelected? If you're, is any president going to get reelected allowing another 9/11? What does the average guy in the street, your average citizen of, say, Boston, what state's Boston in? Massachusetts? How does Massachusetts vote? Oh, well, they vote for Democrats. They elected Ted Kennedy for how long was it? 50 years. Getting close to 50 or 48 years. They kept electing Ted Kennedy. This is the state that elected Ted Kennedy. This is the first state to legalize gay marriage. Massachusetts. Massachusetts could fairly be called the most liberal state in the union. They cheered when the government used surveillance video. If you're out in public with somebody and they took surveillance video of you, and you didn't even know, we live in a surveillance state until the bombs go off, and then everybody wants to gather up that surveillance data and track those sons of bitches down. The government is giving you what you want. This whole meme that some way or another the government is spying on us so that they may work their will on us, so that it's all undemocratic. No, it's not undemocratic. It's democratic. They're giving you what you want. You don't want another 9/11, and this is how you don't get it. They monitor phone records, and they vigilantly and vigorously look for terrorists before they strike. And this is how they do it. And if they don't do it, and we are subject to a terrorist attack, what's going to happen? Whoever's holding the bag. It's just like the economy. Whoever's holding the bag is going down. They ain't getting reelected. On to the next story, related, when we come back.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. You've been listening to Working Man Radio with Joe Lyles at joelylesradio.com.